It's KP. We're back. Welcome back to the KP podcast. Appreciate you listening. I love talking to bands. I love getting to know them a little bit more, and this time is no different from anything else. Right now, I have a guest. Her name is Chelsea Strickland from the band Accursed Creator. Chelsea, how you doing today?
Doing all right, and yourself?
I'm doing great. We're going to dive right into this. Who is Accursed Creator, and where are you guys from?
We're, I guess you could say a death metal band. We're from Pensacola, Florida.
Pensacola. All right. Now, who's all in this band? It's you and...
Derek Javier. He's one of my guitar players. Taylor Tidwell, another guitar player. Nate Flores, drummer. And E. Rojas is our bass player.
Okay, and have you been there since the beginning? When was the beginning?
The beginning, I think we started around 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. We've kind of interchanged a bass player once, and we had another drummer once, but pretty much we've stayed consistent with our members.
Okay, and have you stayed consistent with your sound, or has that changed over time as well?
It's funny to say that because every song has a different sound or feel.
Oh,
so,
okay.
like, one sound, it's hard to, like, I guess, pin us to a certain genre or, like, style or subgenre of metal. Because one will be, it'll be more blackened, or one will have slams in it, like, or one will be more techie.
I gotcha.
It depends on, what the song calls for.
Now, would you say that that's on purpose, or was it just kind of always a thing that's always happened?
It's pretty much on purpose. We don't really want to limit our sound abilities. So in the future, when we progress, like if a song calls for a certain feel, like we want to be able to expand with the idea without being like, okay, well, we have to stay melodic death metal. Like, we want to venture out and be as creative as possible.
Okay, that makes sense. When and how did you yourself start performing metal vocals? Because you don't just wake up and go, it's time. How did you get into it?
Well, it was kind of like that.
What? No way. All right, now you got to explain yourself.
Well, honestly, it was like I've always been, I guess, kind of a metalhead since I was a kid.
Okay.
And I've always made really weird noises, and I've always just kind of been eclectic and did different sounds with my voice, But I guess it transferred over a little bit before our band started, so I haven't been doing them as long as one would think. In a more serious or professional manner. So, like, at first we were kind of just kind of like a prog metal band, and I played guitar, and it was Derek, myself, and our drummer at the time, Brian Norris. It was more like kind of like Mastodon-y, Gojira-y, but I did more clean vocal styles.
Okay.
But I ended up hurting myself, so like basically I had to literally put my guitar down and just start doing vocals, and the energy from that day forward just changed. And basically it was like one day I was like, that's it. That's all I want to do.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, so that's kind of how that kind of transgressed, I guess you'd say, or progressed.
Okay, so take me back a few years. What bands, what vocalists really inspired you transitioning into vocals, or even now?
Probably, let's see, that's a hard one. Old In Flames, Anders from In Flames from like Horacle and Colony, and around that time. I would say Ben Falgus from go for. Peter from Vader was an inspiration, which is strange, but I always loved his pitch, and also Nurgle from Behemoth, of course.
Okay.
Like I have one favorite, but I've never been able to do anything to mimic his vocals at all. Travis Ryan was a huge influence for me, but
oh yeah,
I think that's a big one for anybody.
right. What is it like being a front woman for a metal band?
Honestly, it's a lot of fun, and there are always going to be people that have something to say against it. Automatically, if they're female fronted, they don't like the music. But I honestly think women are making a new wave in metal, and I don't think it's as frowned upon as it used to be.
Absolutely.
So as we've grown, I feel like our community has grown, and it's just been a lot of fun and very welcoming, honestly.
Well, that's a good feeling to have. I'm sure you've turned a lot of heads when loading up gear for a show, and they're like, all right, time to see who this band is. Oh, a female. Oh, she sounds like that. Oh, she sounds good. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more along the lines like they see me in the venue, but they don't realize that I'm actually in the band.
Right.
So they're like, like, did you come here with your boyfriend kind of question.
Oh, are you the merch girl? All right, I gotcha.
Yep.
I see. And then you're like, all right, boys, take a seat. Let me show you how it's done. Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. What releases do you guys have out right now?
Right now we have an EP called Sins of the Father. We also have a single called Scourge of Tested Flesh. We've got a lyric video to that and also a music video to that one. We're in the process of working on a new EP called Hubris. It should be out by the middle of the year, but we have some surprises for you in that one. I'm sure there's an extra question kind of pertaining to that, so I'll get into that part later.
Okay. Now, anyone that's followed you on social media has seen your experience with what's called Inked Magazine. Can you share any experience with that or what happened or what it is to anyone that might not know?
Well, the Inked Magazine competition was basically to get the cover of Inked Magazine, which you can find in local libraries and everything else, or Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and online as well. The prize for that one was supposed to be you get the cover, and then you also were gonna win $25,000, which would have helped my band.
Wow.
That would have helped so much. But I was a runner-up the second and last round, and the system crashed on us, and they wouldn't really give us a chance to recoup or anything, even though we were neck and neck. And it was kind of a letdown. But along the way, we I got a lot of sponsors from it and a lot of recognition just for that. And I honestly did it just to see if I could do it. I saw that it was a thing, and I was like, why the hell not?
Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah.
See what happens. And it looks like it worked out well for you. I mean, sorry you didn't win, but, there's always next year or something else that comes up. And like you said, there were sponsorships and stuff from that anyway, so it worked out anyways.
Oh, yeah, and it was just really cool to see how many people that were, so supportive and then just kind of had my back throughout the whole thing. It was crazy because I had friends coming from all the way from elementary school showing up out of the blue. They're like, I know her. And I was like,
wow.
Oh my, this is crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. You are the first interview of 2020. Are there any New Year's resolutions for yourself or maybe the band or anything like that?
I guess I was just against kind of resolutions in general or saying anything aloud, but I just definitely plan to work harder as we can and put out this EP and definitely send it off to a few companies to get our name out there. I think that's been my biggest goal of the year, is just to write more music and get this thing finished.
Right, and that is a good goal to have.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tangible and easy to reach, but nothing outlandish,
Yeah, I gotcha. What's coming up for the band in 2020? I know we've been talking a little bit before the interview, and you've been working on recording, and you just said a little bit ago about the EP. But anything else going on in 2020?
Well, there definitely is going to be a special guest on that, or special guest or two on that one that I can't really like say just yet.
Okay.
It's just be a surprise. Okay, and then let's see. We definitely have a tour coming up. We're doing a South Florida run that we haven't announced yet with Necrothioi, who JJ was the former vocalist for Monotheist. So that's his new band, who's signed with Prosthetic Records. And then we're planning a tour with Wormflesh in the summertime. So we have a few things in the works and a few things that we can't really talk about right now, but things are happening, and it's happening.
Okay, good. It's good to hear. Any final words for any fans listening out there, or maybe you gained some new fans from this?
Just keep an eye out. We have a lot of music coming out, and it's definitely different from what we put out in the past few years. And we're just really, really stoked to be able to share it with you guys. So just keep an ear out.
Okay, Chelsea, thank you so much. I'm going to talk to you here in a second off air. That's Chelsea Strickland from the band Accursed Creator. They have an EP called Sins of the Father out right now, and they also have another single called Scourge of the Tested Flesh. They're working on a new EP, as you just heard, so keep an ear out for that. I appreciate you guys tuning into the KP podcast. As always, we'll see you guys next time.